Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again soon.
All time, we got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
You are now tuned in to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark. I need for y'all to stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because the math ain't mathin', okay?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mindful Reality TV from a mental health perspective. Just a disclaimer before I even start on this topic. I've started to name almost all the days. Sunday is Soul Sunday. So just to let y'all know, I did not open up this topic to make anybody angry. It is literally just a discussion topic. I'm going to have points for and I'm going to have points against, like I always do. And then I'm going to tell you what I think. And that's it. That's how this channel goes. Good morning, Tasha. So as you could see by the title, I said, should Cory unfriend BB Castmates because of America? This is not based on tea. This is not based on anything that she has publicly said. I asked this question already in my Discord, and I think I asked it on my YouTube community page also, because I watched maybe an hour of Taryn's deep dive with Cory. It was pretty interesting, but 6 hours is a long time. I don't know if it was 6 hours. I just know that those things are several hours long. And one part of what I saw was when Cory was talking to Taryn about being friends with the house guests. So he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing. You can watch it for yourself. Hi, Miss Indes. I'm paraphrasing this. He was like, I don't have any beef. I don't have any problems with anybody on the cast. He said it was 6 hours. I watched the whole thing. He said, I don't have any beef or problems with anyone on the cast. He said anything that was said about me, it was just teasing, and I don't have any kind of issues with the cast based on anything that was said to me or based on anything that he has seen that was said about him. He said he does not have a problem with anybody. But then he went on to say he does not see himself being more than cordial with, the majority of the cast. He said he'll be cordial with them, but there's very few that he would actually be real life friends with. And he said that this was off of the strength of things that they said or did to America in the house, either to her or said about her. He did not get into any specifics. He did not list any specific names. He did talk about Jared. I think that Taryn brought Jared up, though, and he said Jared is sweet. That's the word he used. Jared is sweet outside the house. He likes him outside the house, but Taryn mentioned what Jared said about her, and Cory kind of glanced over that, which I take that to be that was maybe one of the people that he was talking about, and probably Matt, and I don't know, maybe Cameron. I don't know. But he said there's not very many people in the house that he would be friends with, and he said that's because of however they treated America in his mind or whatever they said about America. Again, no specifics. So I just had my question that I was trying to ask the community, which is, do you think that Cory should unfriend other BB castmates off of what they said about America? So when I asked that question, there was two sides of the coin, as there always is, because not everybody is going to think one thing. One side of the coin were the people that were like, he should do whatever his girlfriend wants him to do because she's his girlfriend, and, you know, protect your girl, protect your queen, whatever that is, whatever the case is. Then there's the other side that is like, hold on, let me see these comments. I watched the 6 hours Matt read were hinted out. Cam was pretty much confirmed. Good morning. Literally just woke up. Hey, everyone. Hey, Cass. So then there's the other side that is like, they're in a pretty new relationship, in a very new relationship, even though they say that time goes by. Big brother time, because of how much time you spend together, is longer than a normal relationship time, but they're still early on in being boyfriend and girlfriend. And if it was a case of her telling him, you can't be friends with this and that or that person, or even if it's not telling him, but strongly suggesting, how could you be friends with a person who said this or that? I'm kind of the feeling that there's two sides of the coin, like I was saying. On one side, for me, let me just get my thought out, because I'm going to be all over the place if I try to read and respond at the same time. If I'm with somebody and they feel hurt or offended by something that somebody has said and or done, it's my partner, and they don't want me to associate with that person, I will definitely take that into consideration. But for me, it would be on a situational basis. So I think that if it was somebody that I particularly did like, and I knew that, let's say they made a mistake, they were apologetic about that mistake, and they were willing to apologize to my partner, you know, I would lean towards trying to move past the misunderstanding instead of just deleting them from life, deleting them from my life and her life. Well, they're not in her life, but deleting them from both of our lives, because I just don't believe in holding on to negative energy like that. I mean, I'm somebody who will be the first to say, you don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to be friends with everybody at work. You don't have to be friends with everybody, whatever places that you frequent. You don't have to be cool and friends with everybody you have that big brother experience with. You can leave that experience, which I always equate to a work experience. You go your way and I go my way. But I think that in this specific type of thing, even if you're not super friendly besties or best friends with somebody, I think that it's always best to try to work things out, unless it's something that is super duper egregious. All right, now let me get to this comment section again. There is 3 side. You missed the side, the I don't care about this Disney Plus showmance. Jared apologized, so I'm thinking not so much him, but she unfollowed him. That's the reason why I'm saying that. She unfollowed him on Instagram. She unfollowed Jared, Blue, Matt, and was it Jag? I think it was Jared, Blue, Matt, and Jag she unfollowed on Instagram. So that's the reason why I'm saying that. But yeah, that's the way that I see it. I can only give an outside opinion. And from a lot of different interviews that I've heard and just piecing things together, not just that deep dive, but I like to listen to everybody's side, not just the side of one person or two people. And I've listened to bits and pieces from all the parties involved. And I think I'm starting to realize just how much things are cut. Excuse me. I'm starting to realize just how many things are cut out of the feeds to present narratives. So what they say on the feeds, it's their words, it's their thoughts. If we're watching them for all these hours, I kind of am one of the people who do tend to hold them mostly to what they say in most scenarios, good or bad. But if we see pieces of conversation and we're not seeing the whole thing and we're missing context, sometimes that makes it hard. So I've seen people come out of the house and they're so angry over things that happen in the house. And I don't understand why they're angry based on what I've seen. But then I've heard that there's more things that happen. He had the time to reflect and I'd assume would have given a sincere apology. But she actually blocked him. What was it, 2 days ago? Hey, Colleen, happy Sunday. Thank you. Not vote him and block him. I missed the topic. Oh, the topic is very simple. The topic was basically in part of Cory's deep dive that he did with Taryn from Rob Has a Podcast. Taryn from Rob Has a Podcast will pick like one or two castmates every year, or house guests, and they will sit down and examine their game beginning to end. And Taryn will bring their whole game in chronological order. Okay, this happened on this day, this happened on this day, this happened on this day. And the person he's sitting down and doing the deep dive with will respond and react to each portion of their game. So I watched about an hour of the deep dive. And in the hour that I watched, Cory was saying that he was not personally offended by anything that the house guest said to him. He doesn't have beef with any house guest based on anything they've said to him, but he would not be friends with a lot of them, real friends with a lot of them based on what they said about America. And I was just asking everybody what thoughts they have about that. And let's take out the big brother element to it. Is it open and shut case if you're either dating somebody or married to them? This is not a married scenario, but I'm just saying some people who tune in are married, so I'm throwing all of those out there. Dating or married? Dating or married? If your partner, your significant other, does not like somebody for some particular reason, will that automatically make you not be friends with them or not associate with them? Just check. She's not following Blue, Jared, and Matt. Charm Life never takes my word for anything. I did just say that, but if they break up, I wonder if he follows them back again. I honestly feel like Cory would be friends with the whole cast if he was not with America. That's part of why I'm saying this. I mean, obviously, I'm speculating. I'm not Cory, but just looking at the way that he is, his personality, the clips that we saw of him in the jury house, the things that he's been saying in his interview since being out, I don't think he's somebody to really hold ill will towards people like that. But I do think that he doesn't want to lose America. So I think that because of that, specifically, people that he would be friends with, because I don't see him not being friends with Matt otherwise, or I don't see him not being friends with Jared otherwise. I mean, I don't think that they would be best friends. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they'd be besties, but I think they'd call each other. I think they'd be part of the group chat. Cam Red are Givens as well. Red. Why red? I think Cory wouldn't and doesn't hold a grudge. I do think Cam was someone he wouldn't seek out. But he said, you said you watched his deep dive. In his deep dive, he said that he's very cool with Cam. He said that he's very cool with Cam, and he has said in multiple interviews that his relationship with Cam in the house was excellent up until the time he started hooking up with America. He said that in several interviews. He was like, me and Cam were so cool in the house, and it just flipped when I started dating America. Cory is following Jared, but not Matt or Jag. Red and Cam had multiple America's using womanly wiles convos. I mean, people are going to be mad at me saying this, but she was. He even spoke about that in his deep dive. He even spoke about how, you know, the flirting and the strategy. I don't really understand where anyone's going with that, because that's what was happening. I would say to my man that although I appreciate him standing up for my honor, I would never want to jeopardize any of his friendships based on a game. This is the other aspect of it. I'm so glad you said this, Colleen. That's the other aspect of it to me. In an outside of game scenario where, let's just use Cory in America, in some outside of game scenario where she was just disrespected in life, I fully understand standing up and supporting her and being like, you disrespect my woman, you disrespect me, neither of us are going to have anything to do with you. I can understand that. But in a house scenario, in a game scenario, especially a high intensity game scenario like Big Brother, where there's $750,000 on the line, alliances are being formed, lies are having to be told, yada, yada, yada. You're taped, you're filmed the whole time. You're living in a pressure cooker. I think that there should be a little bit of a sliding scale of grace for a lot of things. I really do. That's what I mean. The weirdness to the relationship in the house would keep him from seeking out Cam. Oh, okay. Morning all, agreed, Colleen. I really didn't care for America myself. She was out there and very flirty. So what does she expect? Truthfully, just saying. Yeah, this is what kind of bothered me about, you know, the Camericas, as you will. This is what bothered me. It was like, I'm not sitting here and saying flirting as a strategy is not allowed. Like, oh, you're not allowed to flirt as a strategy. She's not the first person who's done that, and she won't be the last person who does it either. But to do the flirting and then to get upset with the people that have the opinions about it. Oops, sorry about my camera. I'm still here. I don't know what happened with my camera. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, to do the flirting and then to be upset with somebody having an opinion about the flirting. I don't know about that. Sounds double standardish to me. I would never tell a boyfriend not to be friends with someone, but if something the friend said caused harm to me, there would definitely be a clear boundary where I wouldn't engage with the friend. I'm not saying I condone some of the guy's behavior in the house, but be fair, a little lenient with Cory's friendship with them all. Forgive. This house, I said this before. I said this early on. I said this way before the season was done, as a matter of fact. I was like, this house really takes a lot of things to heart. That's something that I was noticing based on their conversations and discussions in the house. They take a lot of things to heart, and I guess part of that is because a lot of them, and I don't think it's a one or two or three, most of them, all of them really, they said some things that were game related and they said some things that were not game related. My issue has been America and other women in the game catch a lot of heat for the flirt strategy, but the men don't. I didn't find Jag to be particularly flirtatious, but that's just me. Jag was like touchy-feely with everybody. Jag's closest relationship was like Matt. I mean, I know he was kind of, maybe he was a little flirty with Riley, but I don't really recall him being particularly flirty. I agree with the point in general, but I just don't see, I just didn't see that much of that in this house. I didn't speak much on it because Blue didn't get the level of heat for it, but there were also early combos about Blue being flirty too. And nobody defended Blue so hardcore when she was called a you know what. They just kind of let that one slide. Yeah, not Jag for sure. No flirt game. Yeah, Jag is not a good example for that. I get your point in general. I get your point in general in life and on the show, but Jag is not the example for that. I don't consider Jag as the example for that. Maybe I guess maybe you could say Cameron. That's a good example. Don't act like he wasn't trying to seduce. That their relationship was weird. Oh man, their relationship was weird to me. Jag had zero Riz. I found that relationship weird because 1 minute he's in one room calling her a bully and a snake and a bad person. Then the next minute he's coming up behind her while she's washing the dishes and giving her behind her back hug and a kiss on the cheek. Yeah, Matt, I could see a little bit too. Cam, definitely Cam and Matt a little bit, but I don't think this season really had any. I think that honestly, yeah, there were other people who flirted. Blue was flirting and Cam a little bit, but I feel like this season, the reason that she stood out more was not because she was a woman. It was because she was basically the only one who was like, this is my main squeeze here. I kiss him every night. And then after I get out of bed with him, I go flirt with Matt and I go flirt with Cam and I go flirt with even Jared. There were times when she was flirting with Jared. And she even told Cory about it. It's like, yeah, I was flirting with Jared. So that's what it was. It was, I don't really, this season, I mean, last season, it was clear where they were specifically talking all this trash about Taylor and because she was out playing pool with the guys or whatever. But I didn't see this season as that. Riz equals charisma. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because Ma isn't here, so I don't know if anyone else on here is in their 20s. Cam was a bad flirt. Jag was too, but he was equal opportunity. Good morning, Ed. Riley would have been flirting with everyone. Oh, yeah. Charm Life, your girl America would have been spared. If Riley had stayed in the house as long as America had, your girl America would have been spared because she would have someone who would have outdone her. For sure. I'm not a fan of America. However, I didn't care about the flirting. What I didn't like was flirting with Cam. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying because it was a weird double standard-ish situation to me where she'd flirt with him. She'd spend all this time in his HOH room. She was braiding his hair. She was making comments to him. But if he did anything back, he's a predator. That's how I felt. That's what I see. This is what I'm saying. I don't care about her doing flirting as a strategy. I don't care about that. Lots of people do that. I saw somebody basically, if you any of y'all watch BB Can, what the heck is this guy's name from BB Can? Kevin from BB Can. He basically won season 5 because somebody he was messing around with that he didn't care about relationship wise, but he was messing around with him, saved him with a power. Or I think it was a secret HOH. I think he won a secret HOH competition and saved him because of that. I agree, Colleen. Did y'all see what I posted up about Riley? It's like, she said, send me a DM and I'll respond to your DM for $25. What was it? FaceTime. And let's see if I can get this up here. Oh, you can't see it that good. But it's like FaceTime, $80 for 15-minute call, $50 for a personalized message, $40 Q&A, slide in the DMs, $25, Instagram follow back, $40, like and comment on Instagram, share your Instagram handle and tell me which post to like and comment on. I'll add a personal touch to make your post even more special. Wow. I'm not hating on her for that. I mean, if she gets people to do that, good for you. I don't know. I'm not paying for that. America was last year's Alyssa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was kind of similarities there, except America, I feel she knew a lot more about the game. Wait, I think last year's Alyssa actually did know Big Brother, now that I think about it. Even though they were calling her ditzy or whatever, I think that she actually knew about Big Brother. Riley's a double-edged sword for me. The cult was crazy, is still currently, but there would be enough heat to go around if she stayed. Exactly, Mark, spot on. Kevin Martin. I rewatched America's takes on Cam, the flirting and him making her uncomfortable. Her issue was during the lockdowns. He'd go beyond flirty banter and would make weird jury house comments. But my personal opinion is, if the man really makes her uncomfortable, don't poke the bear. No, it's not an excuse for him, but I'm just saying, if you know that this man wants you, and you know that when he makes his suggestive comments, that makes you uncomfortable, then don't even engage with that stuff with him. Just flat out be like, Cam, it's not going there, and cut the flirting and just keep it to game. The whole thing with Riley is weird. Riley's cult leader, and it's so funny that that Taylor called it a cult when she showed up the week before finale night. Taryn had a guest during that time, and she explained it well. Riley was kind of like Paloma in that she would, and that's kind of basically what Taylor was hinting at. She didn't say Paloma, but that's kind of what she was alluding to. I felt like almost not as bad as Paloma, obviously, but just in terms of the pull that she had. Good morning, Joan. Alyssa lacked the info to make changes. America had the info but couldn't make changes because she couldn't win. I mean, America having the info was partially because this house, even Cory admitted it. I was so glad that Cory admitted that when he had that whole blow up with Jared, that was terrible gameplay. Terrible gameplay to sit in that room and say, oh, we were in this alliance, and this 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 alliance. That ruined the game from there. From that point on, now we have Bowie sitting in the room hearing all this information she didn't know before. We have everybody in the house that can hear this loud argument sitting in here like, oh, okay. These people are together, these ones are together, and these ones are together. And yes, it benefited you getting people against Jared specifically, but in the long run, I mean, we see he was, the second juror? I think a lot of times Cam was just trying to be funny. He's a funny guy. A lot of his stuff was tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, but then America would act like she was being attacked. I also saw a side where I felt like there was a scenario that happened in the house at some point before the thing about Cam touching her leg or whatever, but there was some kind of thing where America came to Cory, and she was doing this frequently, and she was saying, Cam did this to me. Cam said this to me. Cam did this. And Cory was basically shrugging his shoulders. And she said to him something to the effect of, I'm just trying to get a reaction out of you. I'm just trying to get a rise out of you. Show me some emotions or something. And I felt like a lot of her reports to Cory about Cam, if y'all remember, there was a time when Cory was very non-committal towards her. He was very non-committal. It's like, I like you, but she was the one who was coming on a lot stronger at the beginning. And she got a kick out of saying things about her time with Cameron and making him upset. Cory wanted to win the argument, not the game. That's exactly how I felt. For me, it goes back to the game being built for players like Cam. We saw how quickly Cam flipped when America stopped flirting to the level he wanted. It did hurt her and Cory's game on a level. And this is why I would never want to win the game or try to win the game based on a flirt strategy. And this is not me saying the flirt strategy is right or the flirt strategy is wrong. But I wouldn't want my whole game to be based on whether I can keep somebody interested in flirting with me. Good morning, Patty. I haven't seen you here in a while. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you're doing great too. I'm Eric Karen. So I got another 25 minutes and I'm heading out of here because taking my first boxing lesson. See how that goes. I needed something to add into my cardio because I have been very unmotivated to do these runs that I usually do. So I'm adding in boxing. So maybe something that will help with mental focus, agility, cardio. We'll see. Not chatting much, folding laundry. I'd be like Jesse and have all the ladies crying when I got evicted. Early on, America was trying to get a rise out of Cory by reporting back the Cam stuff. I think down the line, that's all Cam saw her as good for, and she couldn't shift because of the impact. Nice to see you keeping up with these videos. Thank you. A lot of girls like America like to play this dangerous game of I like you, I hate you, come after me. Man, one thing I'll say about having this channel is sometimes I do hesitate to say things because I know certain stand-ups don't like certain things. But I remember some of these conversations when there was this group of America, like Blue, Jag, and Matt. America, Blue, Jag, and Matt were having certain conversations. I remember America telling Matt that she would go out in New York City, she would get drunk, and then she would give random guys her number at night, and then they would call her the next morning like, I'm so and so from such and such place, and she wouldn't even know who they were or where she met them from, but she gave them her number because she just got blank faced. And like some of the stuff that she was saying was a little on the concerning side. So then there's an expectation for people to have heard those things and not thought that that was problematic. I don't know. I'm exercising right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. Multitasking. Oh yeah, Blue told Cam about Jared and Sari injury. Interesting. Wow. Did Blue only tell Cam? It's scary. And the things that Matt said, I'm not defending Matt saying whatever, she's a B word or cheating vibes. I'm not like defending Matt for saying those things, but they didn't come out of nowhere. He didn't just see her and say, oh, look at her, she's flirtatious, so this is why I think what I think about her. They sat down and they had a bunch of conversations, and he took a combination of the things that she was saying to him, whether they were in jest or not, the things that she was saying she does outside of the house and believes in outside of the house, and formulated an opinion based on that. Was it nice to say? Obviously not. But one thing is, when I interviewed Alyssa Lopez from season 23, she said that after a while, you forget that the cameras are there. So yes, you always know that the cameras are there. But what I'm trying to say is day 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, you're very conscious of the cameras and you're very conscious of the things that you're saying and doing. Oh, the camera's there. The camera's there. The camera's there. After a while, the camera being on you is your way of life. So then you get into a scenario where you form a close bond with a particular house guest. We saw it with Cam and Red. When Cam and Red are together, that's the person they decompress with. Remember, you don't have your family there with you. You don't have your real life friends there with you. So we have these different thoughts about different things. I could have something happen at my workplace and I'm not going to talk to my coworkers about it. I'm going to wait until work is over. I'll tell my family, I'll tell my close friends, I'll tell, somebody who's close to me in my life. But in there, they only have each other. So they get somebody, one or two people who they have the bond with. Like for Matt, it was Jag. So usually when you would hear these things, if you consider them disrespectful or unruly or whatever, rude, he was talking to Jag because Jag was his support person and vice versa. Jag and Bowie, or Red and Cam at a certain point. Cory and America. I mean, I know people don't talk about how much trash they were talking about other people when they were together, but there was that group. Remember, there was the mamas. Before there was the mamas, there was like Sari and Izzy. So what I'm trying to say is that some of it is a product of, yeah, this shouldn't be said. And other parts of it are like, these things that are on camera are normally things that you can say in a safe space to a safe person. But because it is not a safe space, there's no safe space available except for maybe like the diary room. Saying it, as soon as you say it, there's going to be a fandom. There's going to be a fan base that's going to cook you for it, in Jag's words. She did Charm's life, wishful thinking that she would have kept it a secret. According to Cory, yep, he was shocked when it was revealed. Cam Blue spent a lot of time together in jury because Cory and America did their own thing. Thank you, Charm. I bet he was shocked. Cam probably said he already knew. I bet Cam did say that. I think America likes attention. She's admitted that. Like, I wouldn't be proud of being blank-faced and my parents watching on national TV and all their friends. She has issues. Good luck, Cory. Everybody ready for Thanksgiving? Who's cooking? I don't know what's happening for me for Thanksgiving this year. Just got a duck from Aldi. They went on a reality show. They all wanted attention. Duck, how cool. I think I had duck before on Thanksgiving. I never made it myself, but I've had it before. Like cooking a chicken, but juicier. We are frying the turkey for the first time this year. I'm very looking forward to it. I should try it. Aldi's. I'll have to go look for a duck. I've always wanted to try that ad. Is Matt and Riley a thing outside of the house? My personal opinion. I always have to preface it by saying this is my personal opinion. This is not fact-based. This is just based on observation. I don't see them as a long-term thing. I see them as a right now thing, but I don't see them as a long-term thing. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I will say last year, everything I said about every showmance was correct. And I'll leave that at that. Duck is good. Not cooking, probably takeout. You know what was interesting though? I saw, if you all haven't seen the Entertainment Tonight interview that Taylor did with Cameron, it was kind of interesting. I watched that last night. I know he was being somewhat sarcastic as he is, but she was asking him which relationships did he think are going to last from the house, and he said none. And he was like, they might last till January, and that's being generous because they need someone for the holidays. America's also avoided the live. She's been tweeting about the Golden Bachelor and other random stuff. And let us know how that goes. We gotta do like a Friendsgiving thing for the channel. Maybe the day before, maybe Wednesday, because I know people will be busy. I did a live on Thursday last year for Thanksgiving, and not many people were on. I know, you're doing things with your family, but maybe we could do something on Wednesday. If y'all have any ideas of what to do for the channel for Thanksgiving on Wednesday, let me know. Maybe it could be something as simple as, people jumping on here and stating things that they're thankful for, or what traditions that you follow for the holiday. I don't know. Give me some ideas. My Thanksgiving is different this year because, as y'all know, some of you might know, holidays hit different and harder, especially, losing my parent. So I don't have any plans for Thanksgiving or anything like that. I might end up doing something. I might not. We'll see. How are you liking the challenge now? Who are you rooting for? Man, I was rooting for Jordan. But as for the people who are actually on the season that can win, Horacio, yeah, that would probably be the main person that I'm rooting for out of who's there. I like some of the girls there too. Raven. I mean, I'm a little biased because Raven was nice when I met her. There's so many new casts right now that I can't say that I have strong, this is the person that I really want to win type of thing. But I like the season so far. I mean, some people have said they don't like the season. I like the season so far. I can't wait for when Cara Maria comes back and CT. They're going to be on there as like mercenaries type of thing. They all tried out for a reality show. Let me ask y'all. Forget about Big Brother, the challenge, or whatever. If I was in a reality show or I made a reality show, what kind of show would you like to see me do? That's my question. If I could make one that is just for my YouTube channel, what would you like to see that be about? Cory in America will last as long as America wants it to. She wears the pants for sure. My family is doing all the cooking. I'm just here to set up and clean up. The contestants on Survivor at least say they need the money mostly. People were so mad at Gabler. Gabler was supposed to do this interview with me. He has not, but I was going to ask him about that. People were so mad at him donating his money. But yeah, most of them have a story. Where my family, I mean, he had a story too, but his story was not about his need. It was the group that he was representing. Where my family members' home is, the reception is bad, so I probably missed the live. Charmed is charmed. A lot of people seem to be coming this year. Mark, do you have friends to go on Thanksgiving? I do, but Listen, Olivia has been nice to me the 2 times that I met her, but she hasn't done my interview, and I asked her. So the love is a mutual amount to the love that she gave me, which is, you know, friendly when we see each other. Me too, lost my parents and my bro. I'm sorry about that. And my cousin lives 300 miles away, so I'll be solo unless my neighbor feels sorry for me like last year. Oh, that was nice of your neighbor. CT is my favorite. Just love him. I met the big dog. Was it this year? Yeah, I met CT this year. It was awesome. I've mentioned this on my channel before, but CT, there was a Challenge Mania event, and it happened to fall on the same week that I buried my dad. So I strongly considered not going. As excited as I was to go, I almost didn't go because mentally I was like, how can I even enjoy such a function when my mind isn't there? But then I'm like, this might be my only chance in life to meet CT. So I get there, I'm a little bit out of it. I'm not really mentally there. I stand in this huge line. And when I say huge line, it probably took me almost 3 hours to get to the front of this line to meet CT, because I've been to lots of Challenge Mania events, and it was like, I don't know, Brad Pitt, I don't know, Denzel, whatever your favorite celebrity is, it was like they were in there because people were fighting to get to the front of the line physically. It was crazy in there, but I digress. I got to the front of the line, and whenever I go to these events and I know who's going to be there, I think about specific questions that I have relating to the shows that they were on. I was going to ask him about Adam, and I was going to ask him about the bananas backpack and all that. But the only thing that was on my mind was my dad. So when I got up to him, I was like, I buried my dad on Monday. He was like, he just let out this big sigh. And then he spent the next, I don't know, 6-7 minutes giving me tips about dealing with loss. So I will forever be grateful for that. Half of me was like, wow, this is some really good stuff that he's telling me. And the other half was like, I'm talking to freaking CT. This is crazy to me. And I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like that with every TV person that I meet. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool that I'm speaking to so and so, but I'm like, this is CT. No to eating challenges. I would be like Fessy on the challenge. I would not. The two things that would get me are swimming and eating nasty things. Yo, the audio people and the video people made this extra gross. When he took that big bite into the fisheye, and you could hear the sound of the juiciness of the eye. My mom, she could not get over gay. I like, it's a noble cause, but I'm sitting here like, I need money so bad in my personal life. I could never give away $1 million or whatever it is, 600, 600, 700, whatever it is after tax. I could never give that away. I could say, I'm going to donate like 10% of this to this cause that I care about, but I'm sorry, that money's going to my bank account. And then as if I build upon that money and make more money with that money, and I have money to give once I've taken care of me and mine, I will do so. But yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not that noble. He ate them, but got to follow up with the pizza at least. I was in England for the first year of Survivor finale. Richard Hatch. So my dad took notes because our recorder wasn't working. Oh, nice. Wow, that's so nice, Colleen. Thanks for sharing. Sorry, gotta go. Gonna make breakfast for the family. Loved seeing you all again. Mark, wishing you a lovely day. Appreciate it, y'all. By the way, how's the video? Is the video lagging? Is the video clear? Because I found my old webcam and I attached it, and I'm trying to see if the webcam makes a difference. Glad you did go. Glad he could help little during the loss, if only a little. You know what? Sometimes these people don't realize, like when I say these people, the people from these shows, you don't realize how little things that they do can really boost you up. Like Friday, when I got my cameo from Mimi, I was having a terrible day. I was having a day of just self-doubt. I was having a day of questioning, recent decisions that I've been making in my life. Was it the right thing to do? Was it the wrong thing to do? And then all of a sudden I see this little cameo notification. I'm like, okay, let's check it out and see what she says. The fact that it was so thorough and personalized, it just flipped my whole day around and gave me a different energy. So I really appreciate when you encounter these people who are not just like, oh, thanks for being a fan. Somebody who actually is like, gives you the time of day and, treats you like you are just as important as them. And not everyone that I've met or interacted with or engaged with has done that. I don't talk about the ones who didn't, just because people take those things and run all over the place with them. But I will say there's definitely people that I wouldn't care if I ever met them again. Later, Patty. Bye, Patty. The fisheye was nasty. I want to start covering Survivor again, but it's just like I have such a poor understanding of how the game is played. Like, it's interesting to me. It's exciting. But in terms of breaking it down, I sit here confused half the time. For those that are for the post-season drama, Cory dropped the first controversial BB post-season video. It's a cut for cut of the thirst trap Matt did that was circling Twitter. What thirst trap? Video audio seems good. Thank you. The webcam seems to be making a difference. Thank you. It's good. Thank you. That's so sweet, Colleen. Yeah, that's so nice. I love hearing stories like that about parents who are involved, like the parents and the child, not child, but you know what I mean, the child of the parent. They both like a show like Big Brother or whatever show it is together, and they're both invested in it together. Very nice. I have a very short amount of time because my boxing lesson is in 30 minutes. I remember Richard Hatch cooking eel and rice and making it look delicious. Everyone else floating on rafts. Richard totally deserved to win. I love Mimi's cameo to you. It was awesome. And by the way, if y'all have a Twitter, please go on Twitter. Please go on Twitter, and I put the link in my community post. She followed my page, my Twitter page, and she, I think I said she retweeted me, but she didn't. She just responded to me. But from the time she responded to me, I got a lot of views on that video, and I got a lot of views on the YouTube video. So I would love for you to go on that post on X and respond to that and let her know what you thought of the video, because eventually I am going to ask for this interview. And I know it's surprising that I have not done so yet. I have not asked a single person on the cast for an interview yet. And that's not because I don't intend to. At one time it was, But at this point in time, here's the reason why. I'm going to give you my logic for that. All the interviews that you get from them immediately after they leave the house, maybe once in a while you get one that has really, really good questions and answers, but the majority of them are generic. They're very generic because they're on like a media tour. I'm talking to Entertainment Tonight. I'm talking to People Magazine. I'm talking to Sharon Tharp. I'm talking to whatever. Rob has a podcast, this, and this. I feel like if I reached out in a month and asked her the questions then, I think that it would be a better Q&A going on. Now, yes, it sacrifices my ability to get the questions while they're hot, because I know that obviously if they just come out of the house and you get them right then, that's going to be the most views you're going to get from it. But I think that y'all know by now that I like the views. Obviously, I need the views, but I don't do it for the views. Because if I was doing it for the views, my interviews would look a lot different than what they look like. Everyone I know named Colleen is pretty. I only have seen 4 seasons and I don't remember much about them. You'll catch on to the Survivor ins and outs. But I feel like when this is my, what are we, Survivor 45? My first season I watched was 42, 3, 4, 5. This is my 4th season and I just started to realize what Shot in the Dark was. I'm like, oh, I get Shot in the Dark. Now I understand the idols. I know what the merge is, but I'm always confused about when is the merge, who's in the jury. Maybe I need to just read some kind of cheat sheet about Survivor and it'll make it easier for me. Oh, if it isn't clickable. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Actually, y'all can actually go on Mimi's page. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's not. She didn't put it on her page. She put it as a response to my thing. Sorry about this, y'all. I always mention things and then I'm kind of unprepared. But my name on Instagram, on Twitter, on X is the same thing as it is on here. So just search for my name on X and you'll find it on there. Same name as I have here, Mindful Reality. The Twitter consensus is it's a dig about Matt saying that the way he talked the last few weeks was him roasting friends. Hello and welcome to anyone who came here from Mimi's post. Happy Thanksgiving, all peace and love. I gotta go. And yes, Richard is my pick from day one. My dad. I called Gabler. I said from the beginning that I think that Gabler is gonna win. And when I saw Gabler doing that fire, I was like, I wish that I was in one of those fantasy drafts. I thought the siren was my daughter crying for a second. PTSD, Lisa. All right, I'm leaving in a couple of minutes. I think it's better to give house guests time before asking them for an interview. I think so too. And then I also think that it lets them know that your interaction is a little bit more genuine than the average person that's just looking for clout. Yes, I've seen that video. They did a live together. Not even, I heard that the people have told me that the earlier Survivor seasons were less confusing than the later ones. They said that they've added so many different things. The merge and jury rules and details usually change up like on other shows. We said the same thing. Yes, the Allegabler. Should I reach back out to him for this interview, y'all? Because what happened was I met him at the Survivor party, I think last year. I met him at last year's Survivor party. I asked him for an interview. He said yes. We scheduled it. The morning of came. He said that he had to take like a double shift at work, so he wasn't able to do it anymore. We can reschedule. I reached out once or twice. Since then, no response to that, although he does still follow my Instagram and like my posts from time to time, but there was no follow-up response for that interview that we were supposed to have. But I don't know. Those who are on my membership for this page or for my other page know that I have an all-star roster of people that have said that they were going to do interviews for me and never did them, never came through for those. An all-star roster. BB23 people, BB24 cast, Survivor, a few Survivor people, Love Island, a couple of Love Island. It's hard out here in these streets, especially when you don't have an in. But I feel proud of the fact that I got 10 interviews just off of the strength of myself. They don't know me. I'm not part of the clique. CBS doesn't push or promote me. No other channel is like, oh, check out Mark. You know, like I can vouch for him. There are a couple of channels that shout me out from time to time, but they haven't plugged me into any of their resources like that. So I do this on my own. It's all about the downtime and tribe dynamics, and now they have twists, etc. But they made the episodes longer because the fans begged for it. I like it because we get to know each other, each player better. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for the live. Yeah, I have to hop off. Join my Discord. I don't have time to even look it up to link it for you, but I have a Discord. My name on there is the same, Mindful Reality. And I'll probably hop back on here maybe in evening sometime. I had another topic for my music and mental health channel that I plan to do later, and I might hop on this channel later also. Because like I've been saying, I have the time now. I will have the time now. Yep, we got derailed from the original topic as per usual. That's what usually happens. But we did talk about it for the first, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. I hope everybody has an amazing Sunday, and we'll talk soon.
You are now tuned in to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark. I need for y'all to stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe because the math ain't mathin', okay?